Hi, I'm Bill Needham with Ham Radio Today. My call is K1WN, and my partner in crime here is...
Hi, I'm Harold Pugh, K1RV, and also known as Pi by most of the guys on the radio.
And a mobile station, come in on voice, and asked if he could have the frequency to talk to this young lady, and I gave it back to him, and it was a K7. Well, it turned out it was Barry Goldwater.
Oh, K7UGA.
Yeah,
oh, sure.
K7UGA, and it was Barry Goldwater, and he was on his way. He was down in Washington in his car driving to work, and it was unbelievable.
So how remarkable is that?
Yeah, I mean,
right.
There again, and I didn't get a card from Barry because we really didn't, have a QSO, even though he says, thanks for giving it up, Bill. And then I went back to the young lady in about 15 minutes and talked to her. And the same, I never talked to King Hussein, but I talked to his wife, which was also a ham. One day she was on 20 meters. King Hussein came to the UN one time. It was in one of the articles in one of the publications. And on the way into the UN, one of the cameramen from one of the local TV stations that were doing the coverage had his QSL card on top of his hat. And as Hussein went by, the king, he spotted it, stopped over, had a short conversation with the cameraman, and people said, what's this all about? So the fraternity that amateur radio brings is just positively unbelievable. Talking about this communication here, and I know we've been bouncing all over the place on other shows, but this other transceiver that I have here is a dual bander, and it's just to show how easy it is for hams to supply communications during emergency, when it's needed, no matter what the disaster is. This piece of equipment here, self-contained. You can have it, and it is all set up for mobile operation. It just sits in the hump of your car. And on the end of it, your batteries, your power supplies, when needed, you can take it out. Most hams have some sort of a power supply on hand, a battery, and all they have to do is hook it up, plug it into their antenna, whether it's in the house or on the mobile, and they're off. And once again, if there's another way of getting into an IRLP or an Echolink through this, the communications is open. All cell towers and stuff are down, and this stuff still goes through. So.
Well, another extension of something like this would be that if you were operating out in the field and you had your mobile set up in the vehicle with that radio there. Now that's reasonably good sized and it's at higher power. If you needed to go out and walk around and you were doing a little part of a search or something like that, most of the newer radios have the ability. These would be a radio that would have dual band capability, and what that means is they could operate on VHF and UHF at the same time. And you can usually set a radio like that up to act as its own repeater. And what it would do is you could now take this walkie-talkie, little small walkie-talkie, and extend the range of the walkie-talkie tremendously, because you could walk maybe a mile or 2 miles away from where your vehicle was, and using the radio in the vehicle as a repeater, now you could then have that radio connect out to another repeater system. It's kind of like linking and linking and linking, but the next thing you know, with your walkie-talkie, just walking out in the woods, you're connecting to another system that's actually got you in contact with someone that's, well, half a world away if you needed to be, but you can really extend the range. So with something like the technology that we have nowadays, using a little radio like this, going into another radio like that, and then tying into the remainder of the system, it's really limitless.
That's what the state police are doing today. That's what the state police are doing today. They have done it for quite a while when they have turning the mobile units in the car.
Okay, yes.
And when they're on searches or something, or they have to be out of the car into a remote area, they're doing the same thing with their walkies. Their walkies are going in, and they're using the cruiser, the radio in the cruiser, to get into the repeater.
Well, I was talking with we were out at one of the ham conventions in Dayton, Ohio a couple of years ago, and I met with some people. They were kind of, it was like a focus group discussing various ways to extend what you would like in a walkie-talkie. I guess that was basically what it was, and people were throwing things all around. And there were a couple of people that had been in the fire service rescue out in the western part of the country, and when they have a lot of forest fire danger, and when one takes place, you never know where it is. It's always pretty remote. Well, what they were talking about was there was another walkie-talkie. It was maybe twice the size of this that had a pretty good-sized battery pack and higher power. And what they would do is they would take one of those, it was a particular radio that they were discussing, but still a walkie-talkie. They would take that, they would duct tape it to a tree, take a 12-volt car battery, put it right there. All right, so now they had their own very quickly done emergency repeater system.
The name here is Bill, and we're located at the Watson Library Museum, located in Braintree, Massachusetts. And it's nice to hear the reflectors up. So back it comes, W7AOR, and are you coming through on IRLP, or are you coming through also on the Echo link from K1USN? The name is Bill, over.
Hi Bill, name is Kent on this end, and very good being USN for the call sign K1USN. That's pretty good. I'm coming through IRLP. I'm coming through a repeater that is in Las Vegas, and it's located on the Las Vegas Strip in one of the hotels. And so with this works, we're going out over both Echolink and IRLP. The reflector does the connection between the two systems. Over.
Roger, I didn't know if it was Kent or Ken, so you can clarify that the next time around. W7AOR, K1USN. Very good, very good. It's always a nice reflector to check into. We were actually looking for some of the Jamboree that's on. Are you in Las Vegas yourself, or are you coming in through another one? Over.
I'm in Las Vegas. On UHF.
Very good, very good, Ken. It's working fine, and yeah, it's just amazing how far we've come. What I'm actually doing, I'm doing what we call B-roll for a television show, and we're down here with our cameras. We have a local television show, ham radio today, that we've been on for a few weeks, and we're just putting together some materials for a future show. So, with your permission, we're going to make you a star, Ken. W7AOR through the reflector in Las Vegas from K1USN. Over.
Okay, very good. Just coach me a little bit. Tell me what you want.
Well, I'll tell you, Ken, if we can send you out some money and you know how to beat those machines out there, that'll be a start. Over.
Well, if I could only pick out the winning machine.
Ain't that the truth? Okay, I appreciate the call, Ken, and we're just going to wander around here for a little bit and put other stuff together. So I'll tell you, the weather here today is it's probably up in the high 50s now. I think it got down in the 40s last night, and the trees are changing color. A lot of the peepers are heading north to see the foliage, which they do every year. But it is a beautiful time here in New England, and it's only a matter of time before we start getting the snow and stuff falling. So with that, I'll say 7-3. Thank you once again for taking our call this morning here, Ken. W7AOR from Kilo #1, United States Navy.
My pleasure. Good luck.